Mrs. Jayashri, first of all, welcome to Finland once again. This is not your first time here. Can you remember how many times have you been here before?
This is my 6th time to Helsinki.
And your first time was here in 2001.
Right, you're right.
Yes.
And in May for the Festival of India.
Yeah, and it was planned by Eero Hämeennimen.
Yes.
Yes. Well, you are one of the most famous ambassadors for Indian Carnatic music, but what is this music actually?
In India we have 2 types of classical music. One is the Hindustani music and the second is the Carnatic classical music, which I have learnt and trained in. Is Carnatic classical music performed, learnt and sung in the south of India, in the 4 states of south of India, sung in the languages Sanskrit, Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada and Telugu. So of the 2 systems, the one in the south is called Carnatic classical music.
And how important is this music if you think about the whole Indian culture? What is the role of this?
As important as music is to one's life.
So very important.
Very important, because I think any kind of art fine-tunes us as a human being. So from that point of view, art is important, music is very important.
How did you get to know this Carnatic music? You grew up in a musical family.
My parents were teachers of music, so I grew up listening to them teach music and being inspired and imbibing that unconsciously as a child, and later went on to train formally under many great teachers.
But your first occupation, you studied something else too, something commercial. So at what point did you decide that music is your thing, you will become a musician?
I always learnt music through childhood and through the years of growing up, even when I went to college. But it's believed in India, especially among South Indians, that you need to be qualified at least in a minimum way, so that you have something to fall back on if you're not lucky, if you cannot make a career with music. And only for that sake I did my education in commerce and economics. But fortunately the institution that I went to learn commerce and economics always supported my music and would send me out for musical training and activities. So that's just a formality that I completed without knowing much about it at all.
Okay. You have had some really important teachers, or should I say gurus, and one of them is Lal Gudi Yaraman. What was the importance of him to your career?
I think the turning point in my life came when I came to him as my student, when he was gracious enough to accept me. One, for the reason of music itself, because it's only then that I realized how deep music is and how it can be a journey in life. And secondly, because until then I just learnt music and I sang because I was in that environment, not knowing the value, not knowing the importance at all. It had to be he, and that's why he's the greatest guru. He made me realize that this is what I should do and this is what life can be all about.
Now when you're very famous yourself, how do you pass on the inheritance of Carnatic music yourself?
There are many great musicians who are passing it on. On my part, I teach a few students, and whenever I can, I have the opportunity of involving school students in seminars or workshops. I do that. But it's just a drop in the ocean, as you know, we need so many people to do it.
I noticed also that you have talked about the healing power of music. Could you tell something more about that?
Yeah, music gives us peace, it soothes us, and of course it heals us. But particularly because of a student of mine who is very interested in children with special abilities, autistic children, she ventured into this area of singing for them, and because of her name is Abhinaya Ramesh, and because of her I got interested, and we've tried to do some work, tried to see through music, a bit of research to see how this music can actually change their lives to be better, change the lives of their parents, their teachers, who find it very difficult to make them inclusive in our society.
You certainly are very popular, and one sign of it was the rare opportunity working with Oscar-winning director Ang Lee on his motion picture Life of Pi, which eventually then took you to Oscar nomination for the music of the film. What kind of experience was it to work in such a project?
I think it's a great opportunity that I had to work with Michael Danner, the music director, and Ang Lee, the director of the movie. The movie is about an Indian boy, a boy from Pondicherry in Tamil Nadu, who goes on the ship. So it included a lullaby, which was a kind of an emotional connect in the movie itself, and the connect between the audience and the movie. It's the only song in the movie, and it was beautiful because for the first time I was singing. First time I think a Tamil song is included in a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
So it was very different to be under the supervision of a Hollywood director and sing my native language. But what I realized is that music itself has no language, and depending on what you do, it can be a language on its own.
You have done a lot of different things in your career. You sing, you write and compose, and you have also done cross-cultural exchange, as we are going to hear this week when you perform Eero Hämeenniemen's new work. You have known Eero for a long time. How did you first get to know each other?
Eero Hämeenniemi is equally Indian as much as he's Finnish. I think he's been to India for 25 years and knows the music of India, the culture of India, the languages of India, and most importantly, I think he identifies so much with the Indian ethos. And I was very lucky when he called me first to sing his composition Red Earth and Rain in 2008, for which he had composed 2 years before that. And when he wanted me to sing, I was extremely thrilled. He had been quietly coming to my concerts and listening, like he went to many concerts. But I am the fortunate one to be the Indian singer to be included in many of this is the third work of Eero Hämeenniemi that I'm part of.
Did you know Western art music beforehand? Is this completely new world for you?
I learned a bit of it when I was in Bombay, just to be able to appreciate, and so that I don't not know anything about it. But I can't say I know Western music.
Yeah.
I know very little.
What kind of demands is there for you as an Indian musician to do this kind of project with symphony orchestra?
In this work, all 3 times, first one was Red Earth and Rain, second one was Ghalib's poetry, Sab Kahan, and the third one, the composition, the canvas is created by Eero Hämeenniemi. My portions, he teaches me what to do, but he gives me the freedom to sing in the way I know to. So the demand is to do justice to the beauty of his composition. Otherwise it doesn't demand something that I cannot do with what I know or my kind of training.
Well, now the first rehearsal of this new work is just behind, so what are your feelings now?
Yeah, I was very nervous before it because it's the first time I'm performing with 85 members of the Philharmonic Orchestra, but I think I didn't do a bad job. I did fairly well, but it will improve with tomorrow's rehearsal and the next one too.
Thank you, Mrs. Jayashri, and
Thank you so
good
much
luck
for
for the
having me.
concert.
Thanks.